What up, humans? Kurumi here, and welcome to the Mobile Legends Bootcamp. In this video, we are going to talk about the fighter hero, Terizla. Terizla has a good set of area of effect, damage, crowd control, and buff skills. Our executor, Terizla, is a fighter hero. I consider Terizla as a good crowd control and offensive fighter, since his ultimate skill can pull enemy heroes in its area of effect. Not only that, his second skill can slow down enemies on each hit. His passive skill grants some reduction on damage received that depends on his lost health points. Because of his passive, you can either choose to buy either physical or tank items for him, since he is a very durable fighter. Let me share some tips and tricks on how to use Terizla based on my experience. I will also teach you some combos and techniques on the latter part of this bootcamp. But before that, let me explain his skills one by one for further understanding. Terizla's passive, Body of Smith, grants damage reduction to Terizla which depends on the health points lost. Every 2% of Terizla's HP lost will be converted to 1% damage reduction. The maximum damage reduction to be granted is 40%. Another thing is, Terizla's attack speed cannot be increased. Each attack speed percentage he receives will be converted to 1 point of physical attack instead. Terizla's first skill, Revenge Strike, lets Terizla crack the ground with his hammer and hit enemies with its fissure along the way. Enemies hit by the fissure will receive physical damage, and the first enemy hit by the fissure will have his movement speed reduced. At the same time, Terizla's movement speed will be boosted as well. This lasts for a few moments. The fissure that marked the first target hit will explode after a while, and will deal another physical damage to the enemy. A percentage of the lost health points of the target will also be added as physical damage. Take note that the fissure's movement speed reduction can also be applied to all enemy units, including minions and jungle monsters. Terizla's second skill, Execution Strike, lets Terizla swing his hammer 3 times to specified directions within a certain duration. Each click on this skill will make Terizla swing his hammer on your specified direction. On each swing interval, you either use another skill or deal basic attacks. Not only that, while on air, you can move the joystick to specify the direction where he will land. The first 2 swings from this skill will deal the same amount of physical damage and will hit enemies in a sector area in front of him. The third, or last swing, will deal a massive amount of physical damage to all nearby enemies on his spot of impact. By the way, each swing of this skill will reduce the movement speed of enemies hit. With the ability to use skills or basic attacks on each interval of its swing, you can formulate lots of skill combos, which we will tackle on later.
Your team destroyed a turret spree.
Terizla's ultimate skill, Penalty Zone, lets Terizla jump to smash down a designated area. All enemies in the area will receive physical damage and will have their movement speed reduced. Upon impact, a scaffold is summoned and will attach a hook to all enemy heroes hit. The hooked enemies will be pulled for several times in the area of effect. Each pull will deal physical damage to the enemies. Unfortunately, enemies can still blink out of the area to unhook themselves from the scaffold. There are so many items that you can buy for Terizla. You can focus on physical and magic defense items, items that gives you high health points, or items that gives you physical attack. For me, I choose to buy some items that gives physical attack, and also items that gives physical and magic defense items. We consider Terizla as somewhat a tank hero because of his passive skill. So, you can really choose to make him a hybrid of tank and a fighter. As for starting item, you can consider buying warrior boots or tough boots. You can choose warrior boots if enemies are more of physical damage dealers. This item grants you additional physical defense and movement speed. Its unique passive grants additional physical defenses buff on each basic attack received. The physical defense received can stack and can reach to a maximum of 25 points. This lasts for a few moments. On the other hand, tough boots is an option when the enemies are more of magic damage dealers. This item grants additional magic defense and movement speed. Its unique passive reduces time controlled by crowd control skills. Buying attack items such as Bloodlust Axe can boost your damage efficiently. This item grants physical attack and cooldown reduction. Its unique passive grants 20% Spell Vamp. Spell Vamp regenerates health points from damage dealt by skills. You might want to consider Brute Force Breastplate. This item grants health points and physical defense. Its unique passive grants additional movement speed, physical defense, and magic defense for every skill cast or basic attack dealt. This effect can stack up to 5 times, and it lasts for a few seconds. You might also want to consider Queen's Wings. This item grants physical damage, health points, and cooldown reduction. Its unique passive reduces damage taken by 50% when your health is less than 40%, and also increases your physical lifesteal by 30%. This lasts for 5 seconds. This effect has a 50-second cooldown. You might want to consider Athena's Shield. This item grants additional health points, magic defense, and HP regeneration. Its unique passive grants a shield to your hero every 30 seconds. The shield absorption amount grows as the match goes on. Lastly, you might want to consider Antique Cuirass. This grants you health points, physical defense, and health points regeneration. Its unique passive reduces the physical and magic attack of the enemies attacking you by 6%. The effect lasts for 2 seconds, and the effect stacks up to 3 times. The item build for Terizla really depends on the enemy's lineup. So make sure to read each item's description so you can adapt in-game.
Shut down.
One of the best spells to be used on Terizla is Aegis. This grants shield to your hero that can absorb a certain amount of damage. 50% of the shield amount is also granted to the nearest ally with the lowest health. This can help your teammates survive team fights, especially roles like Marksman and Mage. You can also consider Sprint. This can really help you run from danger or chase enemies. In my opinion, the best emblem set to be used is the Custom Fighter Emblem set. Custom Fighter Emblem could provide extra stats according to your needs as a fighter. Set Bravery to its max level because it can give you extra physical damage. Higher physical damage means higher damage for your attacks. Setting Invasion to max level will provide you physical penetration. Higher physical penetration means higher damage on your basic attacks and skills. Get Festival of Blood to be granted 8% of Spell Vamp. Killing an enemy hero grants an extra 1% Spell Vamp. Set second skill to max level first. Prioritizing this makes the base damage higher and the massive damage also higher. That means you can easily deal explosive amount of damage for harassing enemies in the early game. Prioritize first skill less since his second skill is what you need for harassing enemies and dealing explosive damage. Always upgrade his ultimate skill when available for upgrading. Terizla's passive skill is something you should always utilize. With his ability to gain more damage reduction when heavily injured, you can opt to fight even until your last breath. With also the power of the Queen's Wings, your durability is off the charts. Just remember not to buy attack speed items, as his passive doesn't allow his attack speed to be increased. Unless you're going to buy physical damage for him, then you can consider buying items with attack speed as well. Take a look on this scenario. Just take a look on how durable Terizla is. Fantastic, isn't it? Terizla's first skill aids you on chasing enemies, with the ability to slow down enemies and boost your movement speed. This will really instill fear to the enemy by watching his hero being slowly beaten by your brute strength. Not only that, with this skill's long range, you can kill dying enemies that tries to escape your wrath.
You have slain an enemy.
Terizla's second skill is what makes Terizla really scary. Each swing of his hammer will slow down enemies and deal damage to enemies.
Slain an enemy.
With the option to move your joystick while Terizla is crazily swinging his hammer. This gives you the advantage of still dealing damage even when running away to safety, and turn the tides of the game to your advantage.
An enemy has launched an attack kill. Ally has
The third swing is what deals the massive damage. Being hit by this skill will surely shatter your skull apart. Just take a look on how massive the damage is of the third swing.
double kill.
With the swings of this skill, you can really clear up minion lanes in no time, even in low level. Magnificent, isn't it? Terizla's ultimate skill is what you need in team fights. With the ability to pull enemies to the summoned scaffold, you can easily control enemies and be an easy target for your allies.
An enemy has been slain.
Well, unfortunately, enemies can blink away from this skill's area of effect and avoid the pulling, since this skill only pulls enemies when they are in the area of effect. Take a look on Saber. He has his second skill, which is a dash skill, so he could just easily dash away from the area of effect. But even so, this is still a good ultimate skill since it can control enemies.
An enemy has been slain.
In terms of combo, there are lots of combos to be formulated with Terizla. So first, let's focus on my combo when chasing an enemy. First, I use my first skill to slow down enemies. This will slow down the enemy and buff you with additional movement speed. Then, I use my ultimate skill to hold down enemies from escaping. Then, I use my second skill so they can fully feel the wrath of explosive damage. Now, let's focus on a combo that deals with team fight. First, I use my ultimate to hold down the enemies in place as much as possible. Then, I use my second skill. Take note that you can use your first skill in between your second skill. Then, use your first skill in case you haven't used it yet. With your second skill's massive damage, the skull of the enemies will be shattered for sure.
Slain an enemy.
Additional tip, always report toxic enemies. We don't want any of their toxicity. So please, 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 don't be toxic. Let's keep this game a toxic-free place. The tips I mentioned are just some of the ways you can use Terizla. This video just guides you on how to use Terizla the Kurumi way. So, once again, this is Kurumi and that's how you use Terizla. Thanks for watching. Do not forget to like and share this video. Also subscribe to our channel for more contents by clicking on the subscribe button below. For our skin giveaway events, check out the community tab on our channel for the mechanics. See you on the next Mobile Legends Bootcamp. Cheers!